A newly formed organization in the Forest City opens its doors for local veterans Monday for a celebration of both the holidays and the progress the nonprofit has made thus far. Homefront 815 Veteran Center formed following the closure of Rockford's Veteran Drop-In Center. The organization will soon have a permanent home after organizers used a temporary space to feed area veterans. Monday, the group held its Christmas parties, and leaders share that veterans have a safe place to come whenever they need, and they have a family in the community.
There are people out there that really care about these vets, and they're not commodities, and they're not just some way for people to get grants. We care about them. We want people to take away that they can come here anytime they want and feel at home.